In the pediatric ward at St. Catherine's Hospital, my sister screamed at my 6-year-old daughter that she should be sent back to the orphanage to make room for real children. Maya was recovering from emergency appendix surgery. She had been out of the operating room for 4 hours. Her small body was still hooked up to monitors, and 4 drip in her arm, her face pale against the white hospital pillows. She heard every word. Her eyes went wide. Her heart rate monitor started beeping faster. A nurse rushed in. I did not yell. I did not cry. I pulled out my phone, opened my banking app, and made 3 transfers that would change everything. 18 hours later, my parents called me 62 times in one morning. By evening, my sister was sitting on her front porch with an eviction notice in her hands, sobbing so hard she could not breathe. The morning had started at 3:47 a.m. with Maya's screaming. I had been working as a registered nurse at Memorial Hospital for 9 years. Night shifts, mostly. The pay was better, and it meant I could be home during the day for Maya. That particular Wednesday, I had just gotten home from a 12-hour shift when I heard her crying. Not normal crying. The kind of crying that makes your blood run cold. I ran to her room. She was curled up on her side, clutching her stomach, face twisted in pain. Her sheets were soaked with sweat. "Mommy, it hurts," she gasped. "It hurts so bad." I knew immediately. Lower right quadrant pain. Fever. The way she was holding herself. Appendicitis. I scooped her up, wrapped her in a blanket, and drove to St. Catherine's Hospital. 15 minutes. I ran every red light. In the emergency room, they triaged her immediately. Took her back for a CT scan. Confirmed what I already knew. Her appendix was inflamed, close to rupturing. They needed to operate now. Maya was terrified. She clung to me, crying, asking if she was going to die. "No, baby," I told her, stroking her hair. "They are going to fix you. You are going to be fine." "Promise?" she whispered. "Promise," I said. They took her back at 6:23 a.m. The surgery took 2 hours. Laparoscopic appendectomy. Routine procedure, the surgeon said. She did great. No complications. I sat in the waiting room alone. Exhausted. Terrified. My phone was dead. I had forgotten to charge it the night before. When they finally let me see her, she was groggy but awake. The anesthesia was wearing off. She looked so small in that hospital bed. So fragile. "Hi, Mommy," she mumbled, trying to smile. "Hi, baby," I said, kissing her forehead. "You are so brave." "Did they take it out?" "They did. You do not have an appendix anymore." "Good," she said, eyes drooping. "It was mean." I laughed through the tears I had been holding back all morning. My name is Claire Donovan, though most people just call me Claire. I am 34 years old. I have been a nurse since I was 25, working in pediatrics and emergency care. It is hard work. Long hours. Difficult cases. But I love it. There is something about helping people on their worst days that makes everything else feel worth it. Maya came into my life 3 years ago. She was 3 years old. A tiny thing with dark curly hair and enormous brown eyes that had seen too much. I had been fostering for 2 years at that point. Short-term placements. Mostly. Kids who needed a safe place while the system figured out what to do with them. I told myself I would not get attached. That I was just providing temporary care. But then Maya arrived. She had been removed from her birth home at 18 months. Severe neglect. Her mother was an addict who left her alone for days at a time. By the time someone called CPS, Maya was malnourished, developmentally delayed, and covered in bruises from falling off furniture while trying to get food. She spent a 1.5 years in foster care. 3 different homes. None of them worked out. She had trauma. Attachment issues. Night terrors. She would not speak. Would not make eye contact. Would flinch when anyone reached for her. The social worker called me on a Thursday afternoon. "I know you usually do short-term, but we have a case. 3-year-old girl. High needs. The last 2 placements sent her back. We are running out of options." I said yes. Maya arrived on a Friday evening. She was wearing clothes that did not fit, carrying a plastic grocery bag with 2 stuffed animals inside. She would not look at me. Just stood in the doorway, staring at the floor. "Hi, Maya," I said softly. My name is Claire. You are going to stay with me for a while. Is that okay? She did not answer. Did not move. I showed her to the room I had prepared. A twin bed with a purple comforter. A bookshelf with picture books. A toy box with dolls and blocks. She walked in, looked around, and sat on the floor in the corner. Not on the bed. On the floor. That is where she slept the first night. Curled up in the corner, clutching her stuffed rabbit. It took 3 weeks before she would speak to me. Another month before she would sleep in the bed. 6 months before she stopped flinching when I hugged her. But slowly, she healed. Started smiling. Started playing. Started trusting. And I fell in love with her. When her caseworker told me that reunification with her birth mother was not an option, that they were looking for an adoptive placement, I did not hesitate. I want to adopt her, I said. The process took 18 months. Background checks. Home visits. Court dates. Endless paperwork. On a cold Tuesday morning in December, we stood in front of a judge. Maya was 5 years old. She wore a white dress with pink flowers. She held my hand so tight her knuckles were white. The judge looked at her. Maya, do you understand what adoption means? Maya nodded. It means Claire is my forever mommy. That is right, the judge said. Is that what you want? Yes, Maya whispered. The judge signed the papers. Made it official. Maya Donovan. My daughter. We celebrated with ice cream. She got chocolate with sprinkles. She ate it so fast she got a brain freeze and laughed until she cried. That was 1 year ago. My family did not attend the adoption. They said they were busy. My mother had a doctor's appointment. My father had a work thing. My sister Brooke said she had to take her kids to soccer practice. I told myself it did not matter. That Maya and I did not need them. That we were enough. But it hurt. My relationship with my family had always been complicated. I was the middle child. Brooke was 3 years older. Our younger brother, Nathan, was 2 years younger. Brooke was the golden child. The successful one. She married young, had 3 kids, lived in a big house in the suburbs. Nathan was the baby, the one who could do no wrong. I was the practical one. The boring one. The one who did not need attention because I was self-sufficient. They tolerated my career. Nursing was respectable. But when I started fostering, they were horrified. Why would you take in someone else's problem? My mother had asked. They are children, not problems, I said. You know what I mean, she snapped. Kids with issues. Trauma. Behavioral problems. Why would you subject yourself to that? Because they need someone, I said. She shook her head. You are going to regret this. When I told them I was adopting Maya, the reaction was worse. You are throwing your life away, Brooke said. You could have your own children. Real children. Maya is my real child, I said. You know what I mean, Brooke said. Biological. Not some kid with who knows what kind of background. Her background does not define her, I said. Genetics matter, my father said. You do not know what you are getting into. What if she has problems? Mental illness? Addiction? That stuff runs in families. She is 3 years old, I said. She is not a science experiment. You are being naive, my mother said. I stopped arguing with them. Stopped trying to make them understand. And they stopped trying to be part of Maya's life. Birthday parties? They had other plans. Holidays? They showed up late, left early. School events? Too busy. Maya noticed. Of course she did. Why does not Grandma like me? She asked once. She does like you, I lied. Then why does not she visit? She is busy. Aunt Brooke is always busy too, Maya said. And Uncle Nathan never calls. I know, baby. But we have each other. Is it because I am adopted? That question broke my heart. Because yes. That was exactly why. They saw her as lesser. As not really part of the family. As something I had chosen instead of something I was given. And Maya felt it. Even at 6 years old, she felt it. I did what I could to shield her. Made sure she had friends. Playdates. Birthday parties with kids from school. I filled her life with people who loved her so she would not notice the people who did not. But she noticed. She always noticed. Now, lying in that hospital bed, recovering from surgery, she was vulnerable. Scared. And I had called my family to let them know what happened. My mother arrived first. Around 10:30 a.m. She walked into Maya's room, glanced at her, then looked at me. "How long will she be here?" she asked. "At least overnight," I said. "Maybe 2 days." "That is inconvenient," Mom said. "It is surgery," I said. "Not exactly convenient for anyone." "I mean for you," she said. "You will have to take time off work." "Yes. That is what you do when your child is in the hospital." She frowned. "Well, I cannot stay long. I have a hair appointment at 1. Maya was watching us. Listening. "You do not have to stay at all," I said. "I am here, am I not?" Mom said, defensive. She stayed for 20 minutes. Sat in the corner, scrolling through her phone. Did not talk to Maya. Did not ask how she was feeling. Just sat there, waiting for an acceptable amount of time to pass so she could leave. When she left, Maya asked, "Is Grandma mad at me?" "No, baby. She is just busy. She did not even say hi." "I know. I am sorry." At 1:17 p.m., Brooke arrived. With her 3 kids. Jenna, age 10. Carter, age 8. Ella, age 6. They burst into the room like a tornado. Loud. Chaotic. The kids ran to the window, started pressing buttons on the blinds. Jenna complained that it smelled weird. Carter asked if there were snacks. Brooke looked at Maya. "So you had your appendix out?" Maya nodded. "It hurt really bad." "I bet," Brooke said, not sounding particularly sympathetic. She turned to me. "How long is she going to be here?" "I was planning on asking you to babysit this weekend." "She is in the hospital," I said. "Obviously I cannot babysit." "Well, can you just have her here? The kids are driving me crazy. Greg is out of town. I need a break." "No," I said. "I will be here with Maya." Brooke sighed. "Of course. You always put her first. She is my daughter." "She is your adopted daughter," Brooke corrected. "It is not the same thing." I felt my jaw tighten. "Excuse me." "I am just saying," Brooke continued, "it is not like she is actually yours. You did not give birth to her. She is not your blood. You could just, I do not know. Send her back if it gets too hard." Maya's eyes widened. She looked at me. Then at Brooke. Then back at me. "Send me back." Maya whispered. "Brooke," I said, voice low and cold. "Stop talking." "What?" "I am just being honest. It is not like you are stuck with her forever. Adoption can be reversed if—" "Get out," I said. Brooke blinked. "What?" "Get out. Now." "Claire, I am just—" "You just told my 6-year-old daughter that I could send her back," I said, voice shaking with rage. "Get out." Brooke crossed her arms. "You are overreacting." "Jenna, Carter, Ella," I said, looking at the kids. "Go wait in the hallway." They looked at their mother. She nodded. They left. "You need to leave," I said to Brooke. "I was just making a point," Brooke said. "What point?" "That my daughter is disposable? That she does not matter? That adoption is not real." "I did not say that." "You absolutely said that. In front of her. While she is lying in a hospital bed recovering from surgery." Brooke looked at Maya. Saw the tears streaming down her face. The way her hands were clutching the blanket. The fear in her eyes. "Maya, I did not mean—" "Yes, you did," I said. "You have always meant it. All of you. You have never accepted her. Never treated her like family. And now you have said it out loud. So get out. And do not come back." "You are being dramatic," Brooke said. "Am I?" "Because my daughter is crying right now, terrified that I am going to send her back to an orphanage that does not even exist anymore. Because you told her she is not really mine. So no. I do not think I am being dramatic. I think I am being a mother." Brooke stared at me for a long moment. Then she turned and walked out. I rushed to Maya's bedside. She was sobbing, heart rate monitor beeping frantically. "Am I going back?" she choked out. "Are you sending me back?" "No, baby. Never. You are mine forever." "But Aunt Brooke said." "Aunt Brooke is wrong. She is mean and wrong, and you are never seeing her again." "Promise." Maya gasped, struggling to breathe through the sobs. "I promise. You are my daughter. Forever. No one can take that away." A nurse rushed in, alerted by the heart monitor. She checked Maya's vitals, gave her something to calm down, adjusted the 4. Looked at me with concern. "Is everything okay?" the nurse asked. "Family issues," I said quietly. "Do you need me to restrict visitors?" "Yes," I said. "No one except me." The nurse nodded. Made a note in the chart. Left. It took 20 minutes to calm Maya down. 20 minutes of holding her, stroking her hair, whispering that she was safe, that she was loved, that she was staying with me forever. Finally, she fell asleep. Exhausted from crying. From fear. From pain. I sat next to her bed, watching her breathe. Watching the monitors. Making sure she was okay. And then I pulled out my phone. I did not cry. I did not scream. I opened my banking app and started making transfers. You see, there was something my family did not know. Something I had never told them. 5 years ago, when my father had his first heart attack, he called me. Panicked. Terrified. The medical bills were astronomical. His insurance covered most of it, but not all. He needed $43,000 to cover the rest. He begged me to help. I did. I took out a personal loan. Gave him the money. He promised to pay me back. He never did. 3 years ago, Brooke's husband lost his job. They were drowning in debt. Credit cards maxed out. Mortgage behind. They needed help. Brooke called me crying. Said they were going to lose their house. I helped. Gave them $18,000. My entire savings at the time. They promised to pay me back when things got better. They never did. 2 years ago, my mother needed dental surgery. Implants. Expensive. Insurance would not cover it. She needed $12,000. She called me. I helped. Used the money I had been saving for Maya's future. For college. For emergencies. She never paid me back. Over 5 years, I had given my family $73,000. They never paid back a penny. Never even acknowledged the debt. But I had documentation. Bank transfers. Text messages. Emails. All of it. And I had a lawyer. A good one. A friend from nursing school who specialized in family law and debt collection. I called her. It was 3:42 p.m. "Sarah," I said when she answered. "I need your help." "What happened?" I told her. Everything. The hospital. The surgery. Brooke's comment. Maya's breakdown. "Jesus, Claire," Sarah said. "I am so sorry. I want them to pay," I said. "Every penny they owe me. With interest. And I want it now." "I can do that," Sarah said. "Send me the documentation. I will draft demand letters today. We can file in small claims for the amounts under $10,000. For your father's debt, we will need to go civil court." "Do it," I said. "You are sure about this?" Sarah asked. "This is going to burn bridges." "The bridges are already burned," I said. "They just do not know it yet." I sent Sarah everything. Every bank statement. Every transfer record. Every text message where they promised to pay me back. She worked fast. By 7 p.m., she had drafted 3 demand letters. 1 to my father. 1 to my mother. 1 to Brooke. The letters were clear. Itemized lists of every dollar they owed me. With dates. With documentation. With a deadline. They had 14 days to pay in full or I would file lawsuits and begin collection proceedings. Sarah sent them via certified mail. And email. And text message. By 8 p.m., my phone started buzzing. My father. 15 calls. I did not answer. My mother. 23 calls. I did not answer. Brooke. 37 calls. I did not answer. Then the voicemails started. Claire, what the hell is this? You cannot sue us. We are family. This is insane. You are overreacting. Brooke said she was sorry. You are destroying this family over a misunderstanding. How dare you? After everything we have done for you. I deleted every single one without listening to the full message. Then I blocked their numbers. But Sarah had given them her contact information. They could reach out to her. Negotiate. Arrange payment plans. They did not. Instead, they showed up at the hospital the next morning. All of them. My father. My mother. Brooke. Even Greg, Brooke's husband. They stormed past the nurse's station, down the hallway, to Maya's room. Security stopped them. I had requested that they be added to a no-contact list. I watched from inside the room as they argued with the security guard. My father was red-faced, shouting. My mother was crying. Brooke was pointing at the room, demanding to be let in. The security guard called the police. 2 officers arrived. Explained that this was a hospital. That they needed to leave. That if they did not, they would be arrested for trespassing. They left. But not before my father shouted loud enough for me to hear through the door. You are going to regret this, Claire. You are tearing this family apart. I did not respond. Just closed the blinds and went back to Maya's bedside. She was awake. Had heard the yelling. Was that Grandpa? She asked quietly. Yes, I said. Is he mad? Yes. But not at you. At me. Why? Because I am protecting you, I said. And sometimes protecting people makes other people angry. She nodded. Did not ask more questions. Just reached for my hand. I held it. And I knew I was doing the right thing. 14 days later, none of them had paid. Sarah filed the lawsuits. Small claims for my mother's $12,000. Civil court for my father's $43,000. Small claims for Brooke's $18,000. The courts moved slowly, but they moved. My father tried to argue that the money was a gift. Sarah produced the text messages where he explicitly promised to pay me back. The judge ruled in my favor. $43,000 plus interest. $51,000 total. My father did not have it. He tried to negotiate a payment plan. $500 a month. It would take him 8 years. Sarah said no. Full payment or we would begin collection proceedings. He did not have it. So we put a lien on his house. He and my mother had been living in that house for 32 years. Paid off the mortgage a decade ago. It was worth approximately $320,000. They were forced to sell. Downsized to a small condo across town. Lost the yard. Lost the space. Lost the life they had built. My mother called me once from a number I did not recognize. Left a voicemail. I hope you are happy. We are losing our home because of you. Because you could not let go of money that we needed. Money that you gave willingly. You are cruel, Claire. Cruel and heartless. I saved the voicemail. Did not respond. Brooke's case was simpler. $18,000 plus interest. $22,000 total. She did not have it either. Greg made decent money, but they were already drowning in debt. They tried to get a loan. No bank would give it to them. Sarah began garnishing Brooke's wages. 25% of her paycheck, every month, until the debt was paid. It would take 3 years. Brooke could not afford her house anymore. Not with the garnishment. Not with their other debts. They put it on the market. Sold it at a loss. Moved into a rental apartment. Smaller. 2 bedrooms for 5 people. The kids had to share a room. Jenna complained constantly. Carter started acting out at school. Ella cried every night. Greg blamed Brooke. Blamed her for the comment at the hospital. Blamed her for the debt. Blamed her for destroying their financial stability. They separated 6 months later. Divorce filed 8 months after that. Brooke moved into an even smaller apartment. 1 bedroom. The kids stayed with Greg most of the time. She saw them every other weekend. She tried to call me once. I did not answer. She left a voicemail. You destroyed my life. My marriage. My family. My home. All because I made one comment. One mistake. I hope it was worth it. I deleted it without listening to the whole thing. My mother's case settled fastest. She sold her jewelry, some artwork, paid the $12,000 in full. But she lost the house anyway, because my father could not pay his debt, and their finances were intertwined. My brother Nathan called me. He had stayed out of it until then. Neutral. But when my parents lost their house, he got involved. How could you do this to them? He asked. They did this to themselves, I said. You loaned them money. That is what family does. And family pays it back, I said. Or at the very least, does not tell a 6-year-old that she is disposable. Brooke made a mistake, Nathan said. She did not mean it. Yes, she did, I said. And even if she did not, the damage is done. Maya heard it. Maya believed it. And I will not let people who hurt my daughter stay in my life. Even if they are family. You are choosing her over us, Nathan said. Yes, I said. Every single time. He hung up. Never called again. Fast forward 2 years. Maya is 8 now. She does not remember much about that day in the hospital. I have made sure of it. Therapy helped. A child psychologist who specializes in adoption trauma. Maya goes once a week. Talks about her feelings. Her fears. Her sense of belonging. She is thriving. Happy. Confident. She knows she is loved. Knows she is wanted. Knows she is staying. My family tried to reach out a few times in the first year. Cards on Maya's birthday. Ignored. Texts on holidays. Blocked. An email from my mother asking if we could talk. Deleted. I heard through mutual acquaintances that my parents are struggling. Living in a small condo. Retired but still working part-time to make ends meet. They do not talk about me. When people ask about their daughters, they say they have one. Brooke. Not 2. Fine by me. Brooke's life fell apart. The divorce was brutal. Greg got primary custody because she could not afford adequate housing. She sees her kids twice a month. They barely speak to her. They blame her for the divorce. For the move. For everything falling apart. She works 2 jobs now. Retail and waitressing. Barely making ends meet. Still paying off the garnishment. I do not feel sorry for her. Nathan got married last year. Did not invite me. I found out through social media. He posted photos. My parents were there. Brooke was there. Smiling like everything was fine. I was not there. And neither was Maya. Good. Last month, my mother tried one more time. She showed up at Maya's school. Waited in the parking lot. Tried to approach her when school let out. Maya did not recognize her. It had been 2 years. She was 6 then. She is 8 now. People change. Excuse me, my mother said to Maya. Do you remember me? Maya looked at her. Confused. No. I am your grandmother. Maya frowned. I do not have a grandmother. Yes, you do. I am your mommy's mother. Oh, Maya said. Then, very calmly, you are not allowed to talk to me. What? Mommy said if anyone I do not know tries to talk to me, I should find a teacher. You are someone I do not know. So I am finding a teacher. Maya walked away. Found her teacher. Pointed at my mother. The teacher called me. I called the school principal. Explained the situation. Restraining order paperwork was already filed, just had not been served yet. The principal called the police. My mother was escorted off school property. Told not to return. When I picked up Maya that afternoon, she told me what happened. A lady said she was your mom, Maya said. But I did not know her. So I told a teacher. You did exactly the right thing, I said, hugging her tight. Was she really your mom? Biologically, yes. But not in any way that matters. Oh, Maya said. Okay. That was it. No fear. No confusion. No sense of loss. Because she never had a relationship with them to lose. And that is how it should be. People ask me sometimes if I regret it. If I regret suing them. Taking their money. Destroying their lives. I do not. Because here is what they do not understand. I did not destroy their lives. They destroyed their own lives. They borrowed money they did not intend to pay back. They treated my daughter like she was less than human. They told a traumatized 6-year-old that she could be sent away. All I did was hold them accountable. And yes, the consequences were severe. But consequences should be severe when you hurt a child. When you hurt my child. Maya is happy now. She has friends. She is doing well in school. She plays soccer. Takes piano lessons. Has sleepovers and birthday parties and a life full of people who love her. She does not ask about grandparents anymore. Does not wonder why Aunt Brooke never calls. Does not feel the absence of people who were never really there to begin with. And I have peace. Real peace. The kind that comes from knowing I chose my daughter over people who did not deserve my loyalty. Was it worth it? Losing my entire family? Watching them lose their homes and their stability and their sense of security? Yes. 1,000 times yes. Because Maya is worth it. She is worth more than any relationship with people who saw her as disposable. She is my daughter. Forever. And I will protect her from anyone who tries to tell her otherwise. Even if that means standing alone. Especially if that means standing alone. So, what do you think? Did I go too far, or just far enough? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want more stories about mothers who chose their children over toxic families, do not forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon. I've got 2 more stories queued up for you, both about the moment we realized protecting our kids means walking away from the people who were supposed to love them. Click on whichever one calls to you. Until next time, remember, family is about who shows up, not who shows up in your DNA.